So here we have 4 women from NASA's most recent class of the astronauts. So Max, what do you think of this image?
I think it's very inspiring, certainly to especially girls who might look at an image like that. And I think clearly that was the intent of this. You know, it is sad to me that NASA and that we still feel like we have to do that, because I'd like to think that we've gotten past this. But unfortunately, STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math are still too dominated by men. To me, science and technology is all about hope and you know, finding solutions to our problems. And if we're excluding people, then we're missing a lot of people's talents and ideas that, you know, who knows what diseases might have been cured or what discoveries might have already been made if we had a more diverse group of scientists and engineers and astronauts all along.
You kind of look at these women as kind of performers of science, like pictures of scientists either show people at work, not self-consciously or very self-consciously, and this is very kind of self-assured and putting people out there and in fact turning them into celebrities, which I think is kind of interesting.
I was thinking about how setting these women up as extraordinary, there's a sort of tension in the image, because on the one hand, like, yes, they're serving this sort of important inspirational function, but if we set them up as extraordinary, it also potentially sort of regenders science as male, right? If these women become extraordinary, it sort of serves also maybe to reaffirm the thing that they're kind of fighting against.
Well, I'm really interested in this, the sort of the 5th figure in this photograph, which is the looming spacesuit, which I can't decide if it's sort of dominating them or if it's just showing off the sort of the feats that they have to pull off to operate in space. But that figure to me is just absolutely fascinating and critical to the picture, and stands sort of in contrast to its human co-subjects.
Audrey, I think, mentions this in the comments about how some of them are looking in different directions and not looking at the camera. The one astronaut on the bottom right is looking right at us, and she, you know, confronts us about who she is. And in contrast, the woman, the astronaut with the ponytail, I can barely see her, in her face that is. And I'm wondering if this would have been more powerful and more about the sisterhood if they were all looking right at the viewer and make us realize like who they are as people.
When they don't look at you directly, then you have the chance to look at them in a way, you can study them in a way, whereas the woman on the right who's looking directly at you, it's much less comfortable. And in a sort of strange way, they become almost part of the equipment, the 3 women on the left, especially with the symmetry of the composition and the way they don't engage you, letting you can look at them the same way you would look at the spacesuit. But the woman on the right sort of prevents that by engaging you directly with her eyes.
I think part of what's interesting about this picture to me is the posing and where people are looking. So you get 2 people looking kind of directly at the camera. You get the second woman from the left looking up into space, which is kind of this almost spiritual kind of connection to be made through, you know, what this job might be. And the person on the left is kind of looking off to the side, which to me kind of speaks to the nature of the work that they do, which is to be observant and make sure that everything's going okay.